My name is Lisa Sanafe, and I'm the president of Bentley's Pet Stuff. Bentley's kind of started out of the illness of my two cats that I had. They both developed cancer, and it was about a year apart that they both passed away. And so I started looking at the food. It just seemed odd to me that they both passed of cancer, and they were not the healthiest in their lifetime. So when I started looking at food and doing research, I was realizing that variety is really key. And when you connect the dots to the human world, like we eat a variety of fruits and vegetables and proteins to maintain our nutritional needs every day. It should be no different than your dog or cat. When they're in the wild, they're catching whatever they can. And so they're balancing in their nutrition over time. They're never overexposing or underexposing to one thing. And if you keep them on that same path of the same diet, you're risking them being overexposed or underexposed to whether it's a certain vitamin, mineral, protein, whatever. And that's sometimes how allergies can start up or other issues as far as like a sensitive stomach. We're kind of creating that environment because we've never changed their diet. We never have given them some varieties.
My name's Dr. Sue Howell, and I am a veterinarian. My whole focus here is on nutrition, functional nutrition, and whole food therapy. The whole concept of health begins from the beginning. And I think it's difficult for people to understand that their pets are going to have this ability to live better lives from the very outset if they start working with foundational things like nutrition.
We realized how many people weren't aware that you could even change food, let alone adding things into the bowl. That was a big moment for us to kind of come together and figure out how can we communicate this in a way that customers feel really comfortable doing it, and we kind of give them a guideline, but not rules. It really can't be the set standard way because every pet is different.
We've made processed food sort of a lifestyle now. Easy to get. The pet food industry, it's gone the same way. Pets used to eat real things. It wasn't until less than 100 years ago that they started to eat processed food, and look what's happened to them. For myself, I know I spent a lot of time, many years, of telling people what they should not feed their pet. Don't feed this, don't feed that, don't. So everybody is afraid. It's a fear factor now, and wasn't intentional, but now we're afraid to feed anything. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm feeding because you might really be upset about that. I have pet parents that come in and are very afraid to tell me that they put a little chicken on their dog's food. And they said, I know we're not supposed to do that. I know we're not supposed to do that, but we did. And I think the most empowering thing for them to hear is, good for you. That's what we're here for, is to talk about what your pet can eat and how you can do better. And you can feed things like this. Food is love. Let's do it in a way that is good for everybody and that you feel like, yeah, I'm making a change in my pet's life.
We get trained a lot of times by marketing, commercials. Packaging is always great, right? We see all these great fruits and vegetables outside the package, but when you open up a bag, it's really just dry food. So I think, we kind of get trained in that mindset that this is how it's always been, this is what it should be. And when you stop and think about ourselves, I could eat a protein bar 3 times a day and technically be within my nutritional guidelines, but I wouldn't necessarily thrive. Obviously, we know when we have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, the right proteins, we obviously feel better. And so that's the same thing for your pet. Dry food is great, and we have great quality dry food options out there, but I just want to encourage people to know that it's okay to add some freshness to the bowl, and even 15 to 20% can make a big difference and impact in their lives.